Tower defence games are, by design, quite passive experiences because it's satisfying a strategic itch whilst giving you satisfying wave after wave of enemy explosion. Otherwar brings the tower defence genre along to a bullet hell style environment where you control this angelic being protecting its shrine, and not only do you have to place down towers to defend the lanes and the roads to the shrine from the waves of enemies coming towards it to kill it, but you can also shoot back. But so can the enemies. And this game looks slow on paper, and it feels slow on paper, but that's because you are constantly having to dodge the waves of bullets that are coming towards you, and no bullet flows really in a straight line nice and normally. They kind of blow by the wind like evil tree leaves, or there'll be spiders that shoot out fans of 3 webs that you have to kind of flip in between. And what I really liked about Otherwar is that it made tower defence games feel quite an active experience because you've constantly got to keep your eye on what's flying towards you. And that's because your health of your character is tied to the health of the shrine you're protecting. So, like in normal tower defence games, when an enemy reaches the end point, that end point loses health. And that happens here, but if you get hit by a certain amount of bullets, you too lose health, and that then gets replenished by stealing it from the shrine. So you could kill all of the enemies, but just be really crap at bullet hell dodge 'em ups and still lose the game, which I thought was quite funny. The towers themselves, there's 10 in total, and they're kind of a mishmash of things that you've always seen before. You've got like area attacks, you've got a freeze, you've got a slow, there's like a single gun and a double gun, that kind of thing. But what I liked about Otherwar is that you only have certain places that you can put the towers down, but there's always plenty of room to not put them in the most optimal place. It's like you get collections of areas next to a road where you can put things, but if you don't maximize the road space or like range of which these towers can play and shoot and kill the enemies on, then you will run into trouble quite quickly. Because the other thing with Otherwar is that there's always multiple paths, and each wave flips between a blue road and a red road, and then going back and forth. And because the cache is quite stingy in this game initially, you never quite have enough to satisfy both roads. So you're always thinking, which road am I going to prioritise? What do I put there? How do I maximise the range of attacks? But also then know where to position myself to shoot back and dodge all of the bullets as I go. The towers themselves can be upgraded 3 times during battle, but your character also gains XP for all of the enemies that it kills, and that unlocks additional moves for your character and makes them more powerful and really more relevant as the game goes on. Early in the game, your character is quite weak and doesn't really sustain nearly as much damage to enemies as your towers do, but that flip reverses as you go through the game and level up your character, which is fine because then it makes the easy modes quite a breeze, but then gives you that challenge when you get to medium and hard, where there's like just so many bullets and so much overwhelm going on the screen in a really slow fashion. Otherwar has this odd duality in everything feels slow, but also like quite full on at the same time. It's difficult to describe. There is one huge problem though with Otherwar, and it's the main reason why A, the score for this review is quite low, but B, why I can't recommend this game at the current state that it's in. And that's because there is a game-breaking bug on the second boss. Now there's only 9 levels in this game, which is a shame I think just in general, although you will replay it on 3 difficulties and have vastly stepped up experiences as you go through them. But on the second boss, there is a game-breaking bug where the boss becomes invincible, and then even when it becomes back to being able to be damaged again, the level doesn't end, and when you've cleared all of the waves and killed the boss, it just hangs there and doesn't proceed on. This means that I've not been able to see anything beyond level 6, and I've not been able to see the end of the game, and it makes it non-completable. And just on that basis alone, I cannot recommend this game in its current state. However, I will say that during the 5-6 hours that I played for this game up until that point, I was having a decent enough time to say that this would be a tentative recommendation for tower defence lovers, or people that enjoy being active in a tower defence and don't want to just sit back and watch something happen. I think this gives a nice twist on the tower defense genre, but currently, until that bug is fixed, I cannot recommend the game. The developer should be aware and working on it now, and hopefully it will be ready for release day, which is on the 27th of February 2023. But yeah, keep an eye on it, maybe add it to your wish list, and when you see that this bug has been fixed, maybe it's a goer then. Written review will be over on highplanegames.com. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. Bye-bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/Higher Network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.